it must be over 20 years ago now. I was singing in a band, and the singer and myself, I was doing rhythm guitar, and the band split, and me and Barry, the singer, just stayed together. And he's a songwriter. He's a good songwriter, and he knew I was a songwriter, so we got together. But Barry had this awful thing about if I was doing a harmony, you probably know people like this. If I was doing a harmony, I'd give him the line, and then I'd do my line, and as soon as we started singing, he'd join my line. and
we've been there.
and I would say, well, yeah, that's a nice line. Do you want to take this one, and I'll do another one? So eventually, I put an advert in the local paper. It's a very local paper, and I said something like, singer-songwriter was looking for somebody to team up with before I put it all in. Something like that. And I had two replies. One was from a banjo player, which I'm sorry, but I just discounted straight away. Then Toby got in touch, and I said, yeah, okay, come around. And he came round, and me and Barry were still together at that point. And so Toby came and joined us, and he just fitted in because he's a good musician. I mean, there's no doubt about that. But I think Barry eventually realised that it wasn't his thing, and he was writing other stuff. He was writing songs for musicals. He was quite a theatrical character. So he left, which left Toby and myself. And I'd got quite a few songs co-written with Barry and ones that I'd written myself. And Toby and myself decided we'd work on them. And to cut a long story short, we eventually said, let's go and do something somewhere in a folk club. We just did it, and it was I know where it was in Macclesfield, a place called Macclesfield.
That's not that far from where I live, so.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I live in Bury, and just the other side.
Oh, yeah. And we played, and it was great. We thoroughly enjoyed it, and the audience, it wasn't a big audience, only a pub sort of folk club. They enjoyed it. So there we got encouraged. That was it, really. We started to sort of polish the act.
Has a warm heart with cold hands. She talks of good friends gone by, holding roses from the wrong man, singing sweet and high, sweet and high.
Just thinking of that, you said a lot of your own songs are about quite deep things, Graham. How do you put your set together? Because if you've got a lot of songs that
heavy,
are about heavy, how do you balance a set? How do you do that?
Well, we still do covers. It's not all original stuff. We do covers. So it's interesting. I was looking at the sets before I came on, and the sets are littered with covers, which tend to be lighter.
Yeah.
and then in some ways more upbeat. Although I am trying to write upbeat stuff, it's not so easy. But so we got. Well, let me see if I can find. What have we got? Yeah, I'm looking at set list now, and they're all mine. Nadine, you know the Chuck Berry.
Yeah.
We do Nadine, and that's a lovely. That races along.
Leaning out the taxi window, trying to make her hear. Nadine, honey, is that you? Nadine, honey, is that you? Seems like every time I see you, darling, you got something else to do. Seems like every time I see you, do. Yeah.
We went to a folk club in Burton, I think it was. Burton. Yeah, Burton on Trent.
Yeah.
Just a friend of ours had said that he's running a folk club there. Do you want to come and do some numbers? So we said, yeah, we'd go around. And we did two, 3 songs or something. And then later on in the evening, we didn't know about this. This duo came up. They were, you know, they were sort of the stars for the evening. And it was Miser and Smith, a couple, male, female. She plays double bass and he plays guitar. And they do fantastic harmonies. And at the end of the evening, we came across each other and it was like a mutual admiration society. They loved what we did and we loved what they did. And we were saying, this is just too good. I mean, how can we do something about this? But they live in California. Yeah, so it wasn't going to happen. But we stayed in touch. And then eventually, about 5 years later, I think, they said they were going to come over. And we organized 3 or 4 gigs, shared gigs, and had a ball. It was just wonderful. Playing as 2 duos and then 4-piece.
I'm getting old, but not old yet. I'm already worried that I might forget how to laugh, how to love, how to live, how to learn. I want to die with a smile when it comes to my turn. I don't want to get weary, don't want to get bored, don't want to get tired walking down this road. I've seen that happen so many times. Just want to believe that it's still worth trying. I'm getting old, but not old yet. I'm already worried that I might forget how to laugh, how to love, how to live, how to learn. I want to die with a smile when it comes to my turn.
They are very good. I mean, our audiences here, when we bring them along, are just wowed by them. They're just, and they're nice people as well. That's the plus.
And have you
There's
been
no ego there.
California to some of their places?
Say again?
California to some of their places?
Well, we were invited to go over there, but there's so many checks and immigration and you know, all this sort of stuff. And coincidentally, just at that time, we just made our inroads into Canada. We got home recordings, so we'd been doing quite a bit of recording of songs, and we'd produced 2 CDs, homemade, 6 tracks on each CD, yeah. And we were giving them away at gigs. Somebody from Nova Scotia, who is now a really big friend of mine, a guy called Jim Hannon, was looking, he's got a church group, and he was looking for a song by Peter, Paul and Mary that had Harriet's song in it. I think it was a subtitled Harriet song, yeah? So he did a search, and my song called Harriet's Song came up, you know, on his search. So he clicked on it, you know, just to see what it was, listened to it, liked it, emailed us, and said he loved it. Is there anything else? And we said, well, give us your address and we'll send you the CD. You know, we hadn't got a clue where he was. Never been to Canada before in my life. So we sent it through. He then sent it through to his favorite radio show, which was in Halifax, the capital of Nova Scotia. Yeah. And the guy that ran the show was called Stan Carew, and he did a weekend morning show. I think it was 3 or 4 hours each morning, Saturday and Sunday. And he sent it through to him, said, I like this track, Stan. What do you think? Stan played it. And now we know, found out later that Stan was receiving like dozens every day, CDs from people. Mm-hmm. So it was a real thing for us to get through that. He liked Harriet's song. put it on his show, and then had an enormous response from his audience. Now, at that time, we didn't know what sort of radio show he'd got. So he got in touch with us and said, look, boys, there's loads of people want to know where they can get your CD from. And we said, in a very naive way, tell your listeners to email their addresses and we'll send them one for free. Yeah. He'd got the biggest performing show in that side of Eastern Canada at the time. And we got hundreds and hundreds of requests.
Free CDs.
So it cost us a fortune in post and these CDs out. And but what it did, and you know, it was a genuine thing. What it did was suddenly we had an audience there. And Stan was a player. He also played as well, good songwriter. And he said, you've got an audience and they want to hear you. Can you come over? You know, and we sort of looked at each other and thought, where the hell is it? You know, we don't know where it is. So he said, I'll get a hall booked for a weekend. You fly over and we'll do it. He said, and I'll support you with my band. He had a little backup band. And he did. He booked this hall called the Music Room in Halifax. Lovely place. And we went over, arrived at Halifax airport with just our guitars and a backpack, and then couldn't find him. I know, exactly. We were thinking, this is a joke. Somebody's had us on. But he turned up eventually. And to cut a big long story, it is a long story, but we sold out. They sold out the gig 2 nights, Saturday and Sunday. And so the following year we went back and we did a tour with Stan, me, Stan and Toby. We did, I think it's 12 gigs around the regions over there.
St. John's, yeah, it's not St. John, it's not St. John. St. John. Oh, I can remember that. There's a song that we sing when we're so far from home. Seems a long time feeling alone when the memories flow. Seems a lifetime ago, we were holding each other all night long. I've got Christmas tree lights and choirs in my head. I got church bells and a cold, crispy morning. Got my family home and I'm walking on it all together with loving to share. Hey, hey, watch the snow falling down, snowing like holiday. Oh, be with your loved ones tonight. Merry Christmas to you and your kid. Roadside, beaten down, got a heavy load. Running with Stan in this wonderful land. New Brunswick and its wide open spaces. But all we could think about was cooling down. So we hit the road to Hampton Town. Bill Creeper and his kin took us down for a swim. Swimming in the Canada cases. Bill Creeper and his kin took us down for a swim. Swimming in the Canada cases. Bill Creeper and his kin took us down for a swim. Swimming in the Canada cases.
And we were invited and played at a place called Stanfest, which is the biggest festival over there, folk festival.
Oh, Nova Scotia. Oh, Nova Scotia. Oh, Nova Scotia. Loving you can never be wrong.
Just say it now, I've even got my little badge in the kitchen on the wall still, of Stanfest badge. So yeah, and we've been going over ever since.
Love you can never be